Earlier on, we had carried a story about the proposed marriage law. The proper name is the Marriage Bill 2012 and the Matrimonial Property Bill 2012. It's caused quite a stir because what it seeks to do is convert the can we stay arrangements that last for more than 6 months into proper marriages, and 2/3 of those sampled are actually in support of the proposed legislation. Well, we spoke to some of the people on the streets, and this is what they had to say.
Mimi siwezi support hiyo opinion kwa sababu hiyo opinion haifai. Instead ya kama ni stay mtu koana kukaa pamoja ndio mzuri. Hiyo ndio yani iko na maisha. Kama ni stay you can meet anybody in the street and that life will not always last for long. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba hiyo kitu isifanyike sana.
Hii haitatujenga. Ile kitu yenye tutahimiza ni kwamba wasichana wangojee bwana, kijana angojee bibi yake. Lakini tukianza kusema tukikaa na wewe kidogo, in the first innocence, ni kwa nini ulianza kuishi na yeye? Kama huku kuwa umeamua ni bwana yako, kwa nini ulianza kuishi na yeye?
Mkiishi pamoja baada ya miezi michache ashahesabika ni mke wako. So in case tuseme maybe umempa mtoto, maybe sasa imefika sehemu kiwango unasema unataka kumfukuza, already ile kitu ishahesabika. Lazima mimi naweza nikasupporti achukue nusu, mari na mimi nichukue nusu.
There is nothing I can support or say anything.
Is there any reasons why there are ladies who support that?
Maybe there are those ladies who doesn't have a direction. Yeah, they are just there to spoil the other people's marriages.
A really emotive issue, and that's what people on the streets have to say. Bonnie Tunya, I don't know, have you been living with your girlfriend for more than 6 months?
Well, Edith, looking at the polls, 70% of the women are supporting this legislation. Of course, it talks about attachments, and then we look at different things gender-wise, men and women differently. From where I stand, I think 6 months is not enough time to get to know this person to be able to work together in marriage. But hey, I mean, the jury's out.
All right. Well, that's what Bonnie Tunya thinks. We'd love to know what you think about this marriage bill. 8040 remains our SMS number. And the people who are behind that, Ipsos Synovate, they're the ones who conducted the poll in November. And the project manager for the opinion polls, Victor Ateng, now joins us in studio for a short discussion on the same. Victor, we're seeing that a lot of people are very aware of this proposed legislation. Are they just aware of the clause which talks about the can we stay being converted into proper marriages, or the entire bill?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to the studio. Now, there was a lot of debate and discussion around the issue when it came up that there was going to be amendments to the Marriage Act. So one of the key things that we looked at is the one that is touching on legalizing of can we stay marriages. Of course, there are other issues that are encompassed in that marriage bill, things to do with inheritance and other things. But the one that we've specifically focused on is the one that seeks to legalize can we stay marriages.
So people are very much aware about that particular part of the bill.
Exactly. So when we asked Kenyans, when we sampled 1,021 Kenyans, and we asked them if they're aware, 85% of Kenyans are actually aware of that provision.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're seeing that more women than men are in support of this. Actually, according to your polls, 70% of the women support it, while only 57% of the men do. Why do you think this is?
Well, it could be attributed to several things. First of all, in a marriage situation, the person who does the wooing is the man. And the female, or most females, I would say, would probably be comfortable once a man has probably given them a few days or weeks to stay with them. So for the woman, it's about the man is committing to me once he allows me to stay in his house.
Yeah.
For the man, for the man, it's about convenience because it means access to several things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're seeing there the type of marriage, according to the people you sampled, 48% of them are in customary or traditional marriages, and 20% are in unofficial, are living together but without any official ceremony. So the bulk of the people you talked to, you sampled, are actually going to be affected by this proposed legislation should it come into law?
Actually, 20% of the general population will be affected by that if it comes to law. And overall, in the urban areas, specifically in Nairobi, 33% will be affected.
All right. Where are we seeing people being affected by it most? Is this in the rural areas or in the urban areas?
It's mainly in the urban areas, because in the rural areas, there are strong values surrounding customary marriages, which are recognized by law. But in the urban areas, a lot of the marriages, let me say 33% specifically in Nairobi, is about convenience, which is what we call come we stay.
Yeah. Okay, and what is the general view of people on this law as we wind up? Are they excited by it? Are they feeling scared? What is the general perception?
Well, we have people who are excited by the new law, 61, over 60% of the general population feeling that this is a new law, this new law is good for us. And of course, 36% of the general population saying, no, this is not acceptable. And there are several reasons given by those who feel that this law is going to be of convenience to them. First of all, there are those who feel that 6 months period is good enough for me to know the person I'm going to get married to. So the reasons for support, we have several people, 30% of the population saying 6 months is enough a period of time for me to go know that my...
Obviously, Boni Tunya doesn't fall there.
and then other people saying, you know, it will ensure that men do not take advantage of women, because probably if a lady moves into my house right now, it would be like it doesn't give me a room for me to take advantage of her. But probably at the 5th month saying, you know, well, I've studied you and I've gotten to know you, so I think, you know, it's just not going to work. So that's one of the reasons those who support the bill feel that it is good enough. Then there is also the feeling that people will start taking the marriage institution seriously. Because as it is right now, we have gone through a lot of literature in the media, and there's a lot of talk that people no longer take this marriage institution seriously. So when such a bill probably becomes law, then it means that people will start looking at life differently. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming into studio this afternoon and enlightening us on the opinion poll. Remember, the statistics and the figures we've been giving you are courtesy of Ipsos Innovate through an opinion poll which they carried out in November this year.